The future of AI is agentic, but these 4 frameworks are lying to you. But look closer, and you will see its bloat. It is the kitchen sink of frameworks, forcing you to build everything from scratch. That's its trap. You spend more time wiring modules than creating unique intelligence. The ecosystem is a double-edged sword, offering everything but guaranteeing nothing. LangGraph introduces a crucial concept, explicit state machines, for your agents. You define every node and edge, giving you precision control over the workflow. Yet, this power demands meticulous engineering. If your logic is simple, this enforced rigor can feel like over-engineering, turning agile development into a diagramming exercise before you write a single intelligent action. But CrewAI flips that model entirely. Instead of defining a rigid state graph, you give your agents predefined roles and goals like researcher and writer and set them loose on a shared task. This is high-level orchestration. The framework handles their conversation. It is fantastic for replicating team dynamics, but you trade fine-grained control for that collaborative simplicity. Now, if you need absolute control over those agent conversations, Microsoft's AutoGen is your framework. You define every single interaction protocol and custom dialogue flow between your specialized agents. This granularity is incredibly powerful for building complex, deterministic multi-agent systems, but it demands significant upfront engineering. You are essentially coding the entire conversational architecture. But what about the projects where that level of rigid control is just too much? You want powerful agents, but you need them to be more autonomous and collaborative without micromanaging every single message. What framework steps in to fill that crucial gap in the landscape? Forget LangChain. The 2026 winner isn't even an AI framework. Think of LangGraph as your project's central nervous system. Where other tools handle single actions, LangGraph manages complex, stateful conversations like a customer support bot that must remember context and guide a user through troubleshooting. It's the conductor, orchestrating multiple AI calls and logic steps into one intelligent, coherent workflow for truly dynamic applications. LangGraph turns diagrams into functioning logic. It's how you build resilient agents that adapt mid-conversation, ensuring no context is ever lost. While other tools statically chain tasks, this framework actively governs the state machine of your application, crucial for scenarios where the next step depends on a dozen prior decisions. This is the engine for dependable, long-running AI processes. Let's talk about what you are really building, a thinking system, not just a response generator. LangGraph gives you the architectural control for true multi-turn intelligence. When your agent must evaluate, decide, and act based on a deeply remembered past, this is your framework. You are not coding steps, you are engineering an AI's operational memory. But think about the moment your agent is stuck. It needs a human. With LangGraph, that's not a failure, it is a designed state. The workflow pauses, escalates, and seamlessly resumes. You are not just handling errors, you are orchestrating a true collaboration between AI and human expertise, which is the only way complex support actually gets resolved. Now, consider that power in your production environment. Your system does not just log a failure, it intelligently pauses, creates a ticket, and routes context to a human operator. When they intervene, the workflow resumes exactly where it stopped. This is robust, Stateful automation, transforming potential breakdowns into managed, collaborative processes. That's enterprise grade. Forget LangChain, this dark horse will dominate 2026 AI agents. But is a simulated marketing team the right tool for you? CrewAI's framework shines when you need predictable, role-based coordination. It is excellent for sequential workflows where clear separation of duties matters, like content generation pipelines. However, this structure can be rigid. If your use case demands more dynamic, fluid collaboration between agents, this philosophy might constrain you. Think of a meticulously organized assembly line. Each station has a defined task, and the product moves in a strict, predictable sequence. CrewAI is your digital assembly line. It delivers tremendous reliability and clarity, but if your problem requires agents to constantly improvise and swap roles on the fly, this controlled environment can start to feel like a straitjacket. Now imagine that digital marketing team needs to change strategy mid-campaign. In CrewAI's rigid structure, they cannot suddenly switch jobs. It is incredibly powerful for predictable workflows like content approvals, but that same role-based precision becomes a bottleneck when you need creative, real-time problem solving. Your process must be as fixed as the script. Picture a sudden platform algorithm change. Your agents are locked in roles and cannot pivot. While perfect for assembly lines, this rigid structure will throttle your team's creative agility. You are left needing a framework flexible enough to think on its feet, not just follow a predetermined script to the letter. Think of CrewAI's marketing simulation as a rigid corporate hierarchy. Every agent has a predefined seat at the table, creating immense coordination overhead. Need a simple, direct answer? You are forced to schedule a meeting with the whole department. It trades efficiency for process, turning what should be agile AI into bureaucratic red tape. The battle isn't between four frameworks. The top two have already won. But AutoGen isn't just a research project. Its real power is in creating agents that actually write, test, and debug production-ready code for you. If you need to rapidly build a team of AI engineers that handles complex tasks end-to-end, this is your framework. For pure chit-chat, look elsewhere. This is for builders who want to automate serious workflows. Now, let's see this in action. You instruct a software engineer agent to build an API. It writes the code, then a code reviewer agent critiques it. They debate, refine, and finally a tester agent executes it. This isn't a demo, it is a production workflow, automated. You are orchestrating a disciplined team, not just a chat. But here's the real kicker. While everyone focuses on the chat, I care about the orchestration. AutoGen forces agents to reason, exposing their logic at each step. This isn't about friendly bots, it's about building auditable, deterministic reasoning chains. You see the why behind every decision, turning a brainstorm into a traceable, high-stakes engineering artifact. Where you truly need engineering rigor, look here. AutoGen is a tool for building logic machines, not just chatbots. Its power is in structuring deterministic workflows where agents use code as their primary tool for reasoning and execution. This makes it indispensable for data analysis, automated debugging, and complex problem-solving where the answer isn't a sentence, but a verifiable result. But here's the hard reality, that code first, Conversational flexibility becomes a liability when your workflow must be perfectly predictable. You lose the guardrails. If your process is a critical, step-by-step sequence where deviation means failure, AutoGen's open-ended nature introduces risk. You are managing a conversation, not an engineered pipeline. Forget LangChain. The 2026 winner isn't who you think. Now, let's look ahead. LangChain is strategically pivoting. They're shading the kitchen sink approach to become the indispensable foundation. By 2026, they will not just be a tool you use, they'll be the platform you build upon, creating a powerful ecosystem that locks in massive value and developer loyalty. But this ecosystem play is their critical vulnerability. Building on LangChain means you are building their castle, not your own. They capture your architecture. When their platform shifts direction, your entire stack must follow. True technical control means owning your core orchestration logic. Do not confuse convenience for strategic advantage. Your AI's brains should not live on rented land. LangChain's flexibility is its greatest asset, yet its deepest risk. You become dependent on their evolving abstractions and pace. Your competitive edge cannot be tied to an external roadmap. For high-stakes production, this foundation can suddenly feel like quicksand, limiting your ability to innovate uniquely when it matters most. True architectural sovereignty is non-negotiable. But look beyond the flagship. LangGraph is a powerful tool, but it's their ecosystem lock-in strategy. The true architectural risk in 2026 isn't a missing feature, it is becoming a tenant in their walled garden. Your most sophisticated workflows will be built on their proprietary orchestration layer, subtly directing your entire innovation pipeline into their platform's orbit. So the decision is strategic. You are not just picking a tool, you are choosing a partner for a multi-year journey. LangChain is the baseline, the foundation you can always build upon. But as your ambitions grow, that safety transforms into dependency. Your flexibility to pivot, to adopt a groundbreaking new model, becomes compromised by their ever-expanding suite. Forget LangChain, the silent winner for 2026 isn't what you are being told. LangGraph is the powerhouse for orchestrating complex, multi-step agents. If your workflow involves distinct decision paths, parallel tasks, or requires a clear audit trail of state, this is your tool. It's the enterprise-grade choice for mission-critical operations where predictability and resilience are non-negotiable. Choose this when failure is not an option. But what if your world isn't about intricate workflows? If you are mapping out a real-world team, like a marketing department, you live in CrewAI. This framework lets you define specific agent roles, goals, and tasks just like you staff a project. It's for process-oriented teams where structured collaboration is the entire goal. Now, you might need to build not a workflow, but an independent agent that must persistently pursue one key objective in the real world. That is the core, brilliant distinction of LangGraph, its ability to create these single-minded, goal-driven agents that operate continuously. But for that single, relentless agent, the one that hunts a target and will not stop. This is LangGraph's domain. It builds persistent, stateful engines. Think automated compliance monitors or continuous threat hunters. LangGraph provides the control for loops, cycles, and long-term memory that a basic chain simply cannot sustain. It is for when the mission itself must never end. Then, ask yourself, what is the ultimate shape of your task? Is it a straight, predictable path? Use LangChain. It's your reliable workhorse for clear, sequential workflows. But if you need to model complex logic, branching decisions, feedback loops, a true dynamic process, that is LangGraph territory. It crafts adaptable, intelligent systems. Your answer defines the architecture. Forget LangChain, the quiet winner is already reshaping the AI landscape. But here's what the data shows. Pure play frameworks are losing ground. The new paradigm is modular integration. You are no longer picking one team, you are assembling a starting lineup. This strategic composition lets you leverage each framework's specialized strength, avoiding vendor lock-in and achieving a production-ready architecture that is resilient, cost-effective, and far more powerful. Do not try to be everything to everyone. The next evolution is verticalization. By late 2026, expect purpose-built frameworks to dominate specific domains, one for hyper-personalized commerce, another for advanced supply chain orchestration. These aren't generalists, they are surgical tools. Deploy them as a specialized unit in your modular lineup to solve high-value, complex problems with precision. That starting philosophy is your North Star. It is not about features. It is a fundamental choice of interaction model. Choosing wrong means fighting your framework every single day. Get that right, and you build on rock. The rest is just velocity and precision. That decision is the single greatest predictor of long-term success or a painful migration. But what if your rock-solid technical choice collides with your team's reality? A framework's power is useless without the skills to wield it. Forcing a code-heavy approach on a low-code team is a recipe for friction and delay. Align the framework's demands with your crew's capabilities. That's how you turn a good decision into a successful project. This is why your strategic advantage lies beyond picking a single winner. The real power play is in building an intelligent abstraction layer, an orchestrator. It's the master controller that manages these frameworks seamlessly, enabling dynamic adaptation. Own this layer, and you own the future of your BTP development.